Work harder, get stronger. They want you without power. Pull yourself up while you drown. Life was never fair, but they made sure to be there. You want to pursue happiness, they want you trapped behind the glass while trying to do right by your family. They plot the destruction of you and me. Where's the line? Nothing here is fine. Frogs boiling in a pot, they don't wanna be far. Thinking we could be apart. Work harder, get stronger. They want you without power. Pull yourself up while you drown. Life was never fair, but they made sure to be there. The power has corrupted all, like the one true ring hippie fella saw. Where's the line? Nothing here is fine. I can hardly make a dime while people get away with crime. Work harder while you try your hardest, get stronger. While they cripple you, pull yourself up while they hold you down. Life was never fair, but they made sure to be there to show how much they don't care. Where's the line? Nothing here is fine. I can hardly make a dime while people get away with crime. Work harder while you try your hardest, get stronger while they cripple you. Pull yourself up while they hold you down. Life was never fair, but they made sure to be there to show how much they don't care. Kick you while you're down. Make sure no one else is around. Don't stand up. We can't have disobedience. You'll need to follow their command. Where's the line? Nothing here is fine. I can hardly make a dime while people get away with crime. It won't be long now, the time grows near. It's something we've all feared. Now's the time before they steal every last dime. Work harder.
What's up, guys? It is Monday. There's so many things to talk about. A lot of news I didn't cover because I didn't do a show on Thursday, and then I didn't do one on Friday. I had a lot of stuff going on. I wanted to hang out with some friends and, whatever else. Melted, I know you don't like the pan flute, but that's fine. For those of you that are curious where I get all my songs, I make all of them using Suno. And if you want to use any of them, feel free to use any of them. I do not mind one bit, yeah, especially on YouTube. You can use my playlist here, just Tyler Today Music. If you want to use any of the songs for whatever or change them, I do not care one bit. So go ahead and do that. I think like half of them have my name in them, so that might complicate things. But the newer ones do not. I'm trying to avoid that. I think the older ones do. But anyway, the newest one was the one that I just played. And you guys should go check that one out. I'm really happy about that one. For that one, I actually wrote the lyrics, unlike the other ones. The other ones, I just used an AI prompt, and whatever generated is what I went with, if it sounded good. But with this newest one, I actually wrote the lyrics of that one. So I'm quite proud of that one. And I like the way it turned out. So yeah, you guys can go check that out over on YouTube. I wish Rumble had a better playlist set up, but is what it is. Anywho, the other thing I wanted to mention to you guys before we get started into the show today is that next week and going forward, I will have a new schedule. This show's not working out at the time that I'm doing it. 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it's 4 Eastern. middle of the day really throws my schedule out of whack. I'm basically just waiting for the show to start, and then after the show ends, kind of, the day's already like, going towards the end. And that's not even counting the other stuff I have to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to move the show to an earlier time. I will be hosting the show from now on, starting next week. I'll do the show at the normal time this week, but starting next week, I will be doing it at 8 a.m. Or 11 a.m. Eastern. So, new time next week. What's up, Sign of Jonah? You're being rated. Who am I being rated by? Joey? Joey Cannoli, is he rating me? Is the Joey of Canole rating me? But yeah, I just wanted to mention that, guys, and I'll mention it again at the end of the video, or end of the stream today, but Viva Fry's gonna raid me. What? No way. I'll believe it when I see it. But yeah, so next week we'll be doing a new schedule. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, so hopefully that works out for you guys. And, if you guys can't catch it live that early in the day, you could always come and check it out later on, because it'll already have happened if you wake up late. So anyway, let's see. I want to get into a few stories today. There's a lot to talk about. Lots to talk about. Sign of Jonah said I'm being raided by Viva. Are you sure about that, Sign of Jonah? Are you spreading false rumors? I don't want to start a news story and then get raided. I'm gonna get distracted. Viva usually raids Redacted. Is Redacted not live? Is that why? Hello, O2 Easy. I don't know if I've seen you in here before. Hello. I'm a Christian. Thank you, Joey Cannoli. Hey, guys, congrats to Joey Cannoli. Go follow him if you guys aren't already. He just hit 500 followers. So big props to Joey. Really happy for him. Before we get started, let's go ahead and do an ad. I need to start getting the ads for the month. We'll do an ad, I guess. You guys still haven't tried 1775 coffee? Well, now's your shot. The 1775 starter kit just dropped. Only 1,000 units. You're getting the bold dark roast that hits hard, the smooth medium roast, and the Vitality Mushroom coffee for clean energy and laser focus. No crash. All single origin, small batch, toxin free, and mold free. Plus, you're also getting a gold spoon clip because freedom isn't scooped with plastic, a frother strong enough to stir up your coffee and your mother-in-law's opinions, and a black 1775 tumbler, $170 worth of coffee and gear, yours for $99. This is for the ones who have been watching 1775 blow up on Rumble, wondering if it's actually worth it. Spoiler, it is. Go to 1775coffee.com/studio and grab your starter kit before they're gone. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something just like Rumble does. Oh yeah, guys, go get you some coffee. He said Tyler or Redacted. Sorry, he must have chose incorrectly. Well, he mentioned me, though. So Guido, just to clarify, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard is when I will be doing the show. My man Tyler, best ad read yet. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Dirt Diver. My lungs are full of dust because I cleaned all the fans in my room yesterday. So if I cough during the stream, I'm going to try to avoid the mic. I'm still still clearing things out. I was blowing my nose this morning before I took a shower, and there's dust. It was disgusting. Anyway, let's get into the show. We got the ad out of the way, and God bless you. Well, that wasn't a sneeze. That was a cough. But thank you. Gotta try to clear my throat. Gotta get this show going for you guys. Let's see. Let's get this first story. So I wanted to get to this first story. This is a little bit older news, but there's an update that happened over the weekend, so that's why I'm bringing it up. So for those of you that don't know, Trump posted footage of a U.S. missile strike on a boat leaving Venezuela. The reason this is news is because it was a cartel boat carrying drugs and other stuff that were headed towards the United States. President Donald Trump on Tuesday shared unclassified video footage of the U.S. military carrying out a strike on the southern Caribbean against what he called a drug-carrying vessel departing from Venezuela. Trump alleged the boat was operated by Tren de Agua and that 11 terrorists were killed in the rare U.S. military operation in the Americas. Why it matters, the State Department has designated Tren de Agua, which originated in Venezuela, as a foreign terrorist organization. Tuesday's strike follows Washington's recent decision to expand its naval presence off of Venezuela, to counter Latin American drug cartels, though officials have not signaled any plans for a land incursion. In response, President Nicolas Maduro has ordered the deployment of troops along the coast and border with Colombia and urged Venezuelans to join civilian militias. What to note? Well, so Trump posted earlier this morning, on my orders, U.S. military forces conducted a kinetic strike against positively identified Tren de Agua narco-terrorist in the Southcom area of my responsibility. Tren de Agua is a designated foreign terrorist organization operating under the control of Nicolas Maduro, responsible for mass murder, drug trafficking, sex trafficking, and the acts of violence and terror across the United States and the Western Hemisphere. Is this the video? Let's see. So this looks like the video. So as you can see, there's a boat. It's got, what is that, 4 or 5 motors on it. They're not fishing. You know, it's not a fishing boat. They don't seem like they're gonna be trading or anything like that. You know what I mean? My dog just broke into my room, and now the door closed on him. Great. Well, now you're stuck in here, buddy. Anyway, and then there goes the boat. It's on fire. So, yeah, that's basically the news. A lot of people are upset about it, and a lot of people have been questioning the legality of it. I don't really care what the legality of it is. What are you supposed to do here? Are you supposed to approach them with your own vessel, possibly get fired upon? Like, I don't know. It feels like it complicates things. If you know that they're drug cartel members and they're actively trying to traffic to the country, and they're not stopping, even though you have drones and stuff overhead, yeah, that's on them. That's literally they're committing acts of war against the country by poisoning our people with these drugs. So I'm fine committing an act of war against them. That's absolutely okay. But like I was saying, a lot of people have been questioning the legality of it. A lot of people have been questioning whether or not we should be doing that. And it's kind of funny, which leads us to this. Let me share this over here. Which leads us to this next part of the story. So this is the update for those of you that had already seen this. Here's the update. So we have this from Phil Labonte. He reshared this. So what are we looking at here? Let's see. So we got a tweet here in the screenshot from JD Vance. Says, killing cartel members who poison our fellow citizens is the highest and best use of our military. I agree. Well, Brian Krasenstein, leftist commentator, he said killing the citizens of another nation who are civilians without any due process is called a war crime. JD Vance responded, I don't give a shit what you call it. Oh, I love that, man. I love that. That's a fat W from JD Vance. War crimes don't exist. I absolutely hate the term war crime. War crimes don't exist. They quite literally don't exist. A war crime, according to these other nations and the United Nations and all these other, global powers and stuff, a war crime is literally just, hey, we don't want you to use that method of war. That's what that is. And you telling someone not to use a method of war is kind of funny. Like if it really comes down to it and that's their only option, they're not going to be like, oh, well, it's illegal. It's a war crime if we do that. No, screw that, dude. They're just going to do it. Same thing with like napalm and gas and stuff like that, like we used in World War II and Vietnam. If it really came down to it and we had to use that stuff, we would. We would use it and it wouldn't be a war crime. So this gets even funnier. So if you didn't find this funny already, it gets even funnier because here's Brian Krasenstein screenshotting the interaction. And then he says, Dear ICC, International Criminal Court, I will happily testify against JD Vance whenever you want me to. The Vice President of the United States, I don't give a shit if you call the killing of civilians a war crime. Oh, God, dude. Like, I have to read it in that voice because that's just what I picture when I hear Krasenstein speak. What's sad about this is that, like, this seems like a joke. You know what I mean? Like, is he trolling? Like, he can't be serious, right? But then if you know the Krasensteins, you know he's not joking, and then it quickly just becomes sad. It's no longer haha funny joke you're trolling to wow that's sad you're being serious. Oh, we hit the like goal. Thank you guys, I appreciate you guys. Hell yeah. What are you guys saying in the chat? Son of Wiggum says war crimes do exist, but you need to be at war for them to be a thing. True, and they need to be agreed by both sides. So both sides have to come into an agreement, hey, we're going to avoid this or that. Conditions of war, right? So I guess you're technically right, a war crime does exist, but both countries have to agree to it. If it's just one side saying, hey, you can't do that, what authority do they have if they're at war? Last I knew, we were not at war with Mexico or any South American country. We are not, but we did designate them terrorists. So I guess that creates a gray area. I don't like this from Trump and JD. I want my cheap fent. Okay, Melton. Bro, we got the best military in the world when you peg a 30-foot speedboat in the middle of the ocean with a missile. Yeah, no, seriously. What's up? Not brought to you by Pfizer. Have you covered the murder of the Ukrainian girl by the Whoa, I'm not gonna say that. Brought to you by Pfizer. Not covered by the mainstream media at all. Don't worry, that's in the thumbnail today. If you guys look at the thumbnail, I actually have 3 stories of people being that should still be here with us, but they're no longer. Let's see. Trump, want to see a magic trick? I can make a terrorist speedboat disappear. Had to restart my app to chat. Greetings all. What's up, Fishy? But yeah, I just wanted to bring this up because this was just hilarious. I mean, Brian Krasenstein, you always get a good laugh from him, I suppose. Let's see what else we got going on. I reposted Jeremy's coverage. He was pissed. Yeah, in response to that whole stuff, I'll probably end up going off on that. We'll get there though. Let's see. I see. Okay, I was reading a message from somebody. What story do I want to jump to next? Let's cover this real quick. Guys. Israel threatens to destroy Gaza City in a mighty hurricane of strikes. This is a final warning. Israel ominously vowed to destroy Gaza City in a mighty hurricane of strikes Monday, calling it a final warning to the murderers and rapists of Hamas. A mighty hurricane will hit the skies of Gaza City today, and the roofs of the terror towers will shake. Israel's defense minister, Israel Katz, wrote on X, I think it should be illegal to name yourself after your country. You live in Israel. Your name should not be Israel. This is a final warning to the murderers and rapists of Hamas in Gaza and the luxury hotels abroad. Release the hostages and lay down your weapons, or Gaza will be destroyed and you will be annihilated. The murders in Gaza and in the luxury hotels abroad. Interesting. Okay. The IDF is continuing with its plans, and we are preparing to expand the maneuver to defeat Gaza. The threat came after President Trump fired off his own last warning to the militant group on Sunday, urging it to accept his terms for a ceasefire. The Israelis have accepted my terms. It is time for Hamas to accept them as well. I have warned Hamas about the consequences of not accepting. This was my last warning. There will not be another one. He didn't elaborate on what those terms were. Comes after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ordered troops last month to capture Gaza City in a bid to wipe out the last remnants of the terror group if it doesn't release all remaining hostages. Hamas has said it would release some hostages for a temporary ceasefire. Netanyahu, however, is pushing for an all-or-nothing deal with Hamas, which he wants to release all the hostages and surrender. So I'm on neither side of this, guys, for those of you that don't know. I'm on neither side of this issue. I think Israel can go screw, and I think Gaza can go screw. And my only question is, what happens after the Palestinians give over all of the hostages? What happens? Because if there's no more people from other countries or Israelis that are there in Palestine, what will stop the IDF from just leveling the place? They've already proved that they're more than willing to shoot people going on these humanitarian aid routes. Nothing. Exactly. Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen because it will change nothing. If the Palestinians or the Hamas terrorist group, if they released all of the hostages right now, I'll tell you what would happen. Benjamin Netanyahu would go, "Thank you very much. Now we don't have to worry about when we go in and level everything." That's literally what would happen. And again, I'm not on the side of the Hamas terrorist. I'm not on the side of the IDF terrorist either. They're both fucking terrorists in my eyes. But I just find it funny that we like to pick sides in these wars when both sides are pieces of crap. Trump issues last warning to Hamas over hostage deal. The Israelis have accepted my terms. It's time for Hamas to accept them as well. This is my last warning. There will not be another one. President Donald Trump has issued what he called his last warning to Hamas, demanding the release of the remaining hostages held in Gaza or face consequences. Everyone wants the hostages home. Everyone wants this war to end. The Israelis have accepted my terms. It is time for Hamas to accept as well. This is my last warning. There will not be another one. I'm curious as to what the deal is. Ari Hoffman says here, the latest hostage deal proposal details. Hamas will release all 48 hostages, including those living and bodies of the dead, on the first day of the agreement. Israel will release between 2,000 and 3,000 Palestinian terrorists, including those convicted of murder. Why would they do that? Israel troops would remain in parts of the Gaza Strip, maintaining a limited presence in designated zones. Israel's planned military operation in Gaza City will be canceled, and talks will immediately begin to end the war. Hamas is unlikely to accept the terms, even after President Donald Trump offered a personal assurance that hostilities will not resume until negotiations between Israel and Hamas yield a resolution. I mean, that's just a load of bull crap. I mean, if Hamas were to accept this deal, what you're saying is, okay, we're going to continue to occupy the areas we already took. Like this is basically like the Russia. This is the Russia deal for Ukraine. You're like, yeah, those areas we already took, we're going to keep and have troops stationed there. That's literally the deal. Like you turn over everything and we'll keep what we took. That's the deal. Those are your options. Or perish. Nearly 2 years after the Hamas's October 7th, 2023 attack on Israel, 48 hostages remain in captivity. U.S. and Israeli officials believe only about 20 are still alive, however. Under the plan, Hamas would release all remaining hostages, including both survivors and the bodies of those who have been killed by the terror group. On the first day of the agreement, in exchange, Trump pledged a personal guarantee that Israel would pause hostilities until negotiations were resolved. The proposal also included the release of 2,000 to 3,000 Palestinian terrorists, including those convicted of murder. Israel would cancel its planned military operations in Gaza City and begin talks aimed at ending the war. Despite these concessions, Israeli forces would retain a limited presence in parts of Gaza under designated security zones. Designated security zones. Interesting way to phrase that. I wonder if they'll send settlers into these security zones. I wonder. Sources close to the negotiations told the Jerusalem Post that Hamas is unlikely to accept the deal. Hamas would essentially be giving up the hostages on day one in return for a presidential guarantee. What happens if the negotiations collapse? Hamas would have lost all of its leverage. Exactly. They don't have anything. Hamas doesn't have anything. They don't have a superior military. They don't have friends helping them outside the area. Except for maybe Iran, but they can't really do much. You saw how hardly they got slapped when they did try to help. So yeah, literally, you may not like the methods, but literally, this is the only way Hamas has to combat the IDF. A senior Israeli official confirmed Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government is giving the proposal serious consideration while acknowledging Hamas's likely refusal. In an official statement Sunday, Hamas claimed it was willing to immediately sit at the negotiating table, but only in exchange for a clear declaration of the war's end, a full Israeli withdrawal, and a new independent Palestinian governing committee for Gaza. The terror group also told Sky News Arabia it is considering Trump's plan with a positive spirit and said all parties were approaching the talks with great responsibility. See, that's not entirely unreasonable from the Hamas people, though. They're literally just saying, leave our land and help us. They even said, help us establish a new independent Palestinian governing committee for Gaza. That is what the Hamas people are offering. They want a clear declaration of the war's end, a full Israeli withdrawal, and a new independent Palestinian governing committee for Gaza. How is that? None of that's unreasonable. I don't see that as unreasonable. The effort follows months of deadlocked negotiations. Trump's envoy, Steve Witkoff, previously accused Hamas of negotiating in bad faith. In July, the U.S. and Israel withdrew from Qatar. Talks after little progress. Witkoff later told Fox that a deal to release 10 of the surviving hostages had been on the table for weeks, but Hamas blocked it. Trump predicted a conclusive end to the war within weeks during August, though he had not detailed how this would occur. Netanyahu has remained firm that the only a ceasefire ensuring the return of all hostages and Israel's security teams will be acceptable. Meanwhile, the IDF announced preparations for a new offensive in Gaza under Operation Gideon Chariots II. On Sunday, IDF spokesperson Colonel Avike Adre warned residents of parts of Gaza City to evacuate ahead of strikes, releasing maps marked areas targeting due to Hamas terrorist infrastructure inside or nearby. I mean, they always say that. Hamas terrorist infrastructure inside or nearby. It's such a small area. Like, literally, you could say that that's everywhere. Like, what do you mean by inside or nearby? Because it could be like the building down the street is what it's nearby. Like, what do you mean by nearby? And it's such a small area. Like, we're talking about a place the size of, like, what, New Jersey? Smaller than that? Isn't Gaza a part of Israel? Might as well be at this point. Let's see. let's go back to the desk here. Yeah, I mean, again, I just wanted to bring it up because it keeps escalating over there. It is. Nearby is a BS statement. Yeah, absolutely. It is. In 1947, the evil twins were born. The CIA and Israel, just a coincidence. The Ukraine deal and the Gaza deal are what terms of surrender look like. The administration is just trying to put a nice little bow on it. Hit the head on the nail right there, TJ. Security sections, do you think it's going to be a U.S. personnel so we have a reason to use force? No, it'll probably be the IDF. And then they'll probably send in settlers. There is no way they're still alive. I don't think that, Son of Wiggum. I mean, they estimate about half of them are still alive. Israel has been in 15 major conflicts and dozens of minor ones since 1947. Yeah, not all of it's their fault. Some of them were wars that they didn't start. Not all of them, though. Israel pause hostilities. Ha ha ha, that's rich. I don't know, not trying to be dumb here, but when you start a war that you have no chance of winning, then lose, you don't get to complain. I understand that none of this is clean or nice. Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely, but at what point is it too far, right? Because right now the latest numbers that we received from the IDF is that 83% of the people killed in Palestine have nothing to do with the Hamas terrorist group. So if you have to kill 8 civilians to kill 2 of the people that were responsible for that attack, like, I don't. That's just not a good ratio, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we had to get these guys. They're terrible human scumbags, but we had to kill 8 people that were not relevant to that in order to get those people. Had to do it. I just don't know, man. I like it. I've said repeatedly, I was in favor of going and getting revenge at the start of this. October 7th was one of the most horrific things I'd ever seen, but it's gotten to the point now where Israel's gone too far. They've gone too far. They got their revenge and then some. So, for sure, I agree. Let's see. Oh, hey guys, Discord link in the chat. Go check that out. Let me pin that. Go check out the Discord. You guys can send me messages, ask me questions, send me stories on my Discord, and all that good stuff. And at some point, I'll start doing a call-in section. I have it set up. Like, if you guys want to call into the show, you have to go on my Discord and join the waiting to call section. And once you're in the waiting to call section, I can pull you up and you can ask me questions or argue with me, or if you have something to add, whatever it is. But just be aware, I will have my button on the remove. Or I will have my mouse on the remove button. So 2 and 8 sounds like a Dallas Cowboy season, not war statistics. Oof. 2 million German civilians died in World War II. Collateral damage is collateral damage. Don't start ish. There won't be ish. Yeah, no, I agree. It's one of those things where, war pops off and what happens after. It's just, again, at what point is it enough? This is war. The only way to win a war is to keep fighting until one side gives up. A half measure just means you postpone the war until later. Absolutely. And I've said this as well. It's gotten to the point now with Gaza that I want Israel to just take Gaza, because if they do not, we're going to hear about this again in like 5-10 years. If Israel doesn't go in and just take Gaza at this point, we're going to hear about it again in 5 to 10 years. There will be another October 7th. They've gone too far. They just need to finish it. It's at the point now where they just need to finish it. Let's see. I have more stories I would like to move on to. Let's see. Well, let's get an add-in for you guys real quick. Yes, there's only one answer. So would it be a war crime if Israel glassed Gaza? That's the question, right? I would say no, personally. But anyway, we're doing an ad. And this ad has nothing to do with my show. So here we go. Hey, football fanatics. Are you ready for some primetime NFL action? Tune in to the Westwood One for all of the gridiron glory. I've never seen that word. You crave. From jaw-dropping touchdowns to game-changing plays, don't miss a moment of the excitement. Catch every snap, every tackle, and every victory on Westwood One. You can listen to the NFL on the NFL app, on the Westwood One Sports app, and on WestwoodOneSports.com via Westwood One station streams, or by asking Alexa to open the Westwood One Sports app. If it's the NFL, it's on Westwood One. So there you guys go. Go check out Westwood One if you guys are into sports. Gridiron. Is that you guys are correcting me in the chat? I've never seen that word. You guys know it? What is that? What is that word? I don't know what gridiron is. Tell me you're not a sports ball person. I'm doing my sports ball. This is my sports ball. The news is my sports ball, okay? Anyway, Tyler, I was wrong. That was the best ad read ever. Thank you, Dirt Diver. That was even better. Maybe I'll get paid $2 for it. Because that's what it said I would get paid for. Those NFL ads, they pay. $2. Whole $2, guys. I'm going to get paid a whole $2 for that read. Assuming I didn't... actually, I kind of butchered the beginning of that, so we'll see. We'll see with that one. Look at Fishy in the chat. He's got the Helldiver flags going up. Hell yeah, man. I'm going to be playing Helldivers today at some point, and I'll be screaming because they're mean. They're very mean. Missed a shot field goal with about 2 minutes left. Bengal stole 17-16. That's sports. Back to you, Tyler. Thanks, Jonah. $2 is way too much. I know, right? $2 for my time. All right, let's get to the serious news. I did just mention video games, so I guess I'll bring up video game news because this one's funny. Let's bring up this story before I get to the depressing stuff. Guys, a new Destiny 2 event is giving players bugged 8-year-old loot from content that was so deleted that Bungie literally could not come up with it to show in court. So to elaborate here, for those of you that don't play video games, don't know what Destiny is, Destiny is a looter shooter first-person game. You basically just like a space marine kind of guy. You go around doing a bunch of magic stuff. Most basic way to put it if you don't know anything about Destiny. But anyway, the game has been out for a very long time, 8 years now, and it's crazy to think about that it's been out that long. But with that, over the years, almost every year, they delete the game's old content. If I were to download Destiny 2 right now, I would not be able to play any of the content that was available in year 1. So, or year 2, or year 3, 4, 5, 6. I wouldn't be able to play anything from the past, 6 years. I would only be able to play the things from the last, 2, maybe 3 years. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. So, they deleted all that content, but now for some reason, their new event is dropping gear for the players that shouldn't exist. The stuff should not exist anymore. So they deleted everything and forgot some items. I don't know. I'm not even sure, Boosh. I think they don't even know what they're deleting. I think that's what it is. I think that's the moral of the story here. Bungie, one of the world's greatest game studios, or should I say former greatest game studios. I mean, what a titan of industry. Look at it collapse. Look at all the stories that I've talked about with Destiny recently. It's so sad to hear this from Bungie. Destiny 2 players got a horrifying blast from the past today as a new heavy metal PvP event dished out bugged loot straight from year 1 of the now 8-year-old MMO. Players began reporting ancient, decrepit, repeatedly power-crept loot shortly after Heavy Metal went live this afternoon. Destiny Bulletin received the Year 1 special, A Bunch of Blues. Destiny 2 content creator Rick Kakis was given a Year 1 version of the notorious Better Devil's hand cannon, which is just a revolver. That for some reason they call revolvers hand cannons. Which might be the funniest thing to ever happen in a video game. I don't know about that statement, but okay. You may recall an old Destiny 2 development diary where the then game director Luke Smith, at a time where Bungie had inadvisedly abandoned random loot in a game about random loot, discussed how to make acquiring multiple copies of the same Better Devils feel exciting. Bungie never found an answer to this question. Random rolls returned, and now on the heels of an all-new tired gear system, the static Better Devils returned like the ghost of Christmas past. Bungie confirmed that it's investigating issues where launching Heavy Metal from the tower node drops blue gear and old legendary gear. Until a fix is found, you should launch the activity from the game's new portal activity hub instead. Now, how does that even happen? How does that even happen with, coding and crap? If I start a game mode, if I go and start a certain game mode from the hub area, the social area of the game, it'll bug out and drop me gear that shouldn't even exist in the game anymore? How does that happen? But if I go into orbit and I launch the same activity from orbit in my spaceship, I'm fine. I'll get normal gear that I'm supposed to get. It doesn't make any sense. But so looks like Bungie has famously deleted huge chunks of paid Destiny 2 content, purportedly for the game's technical and design health, sweeping old campaigns, destinations, and gear into the so-called Destiny Content Vault. This includes almost every last trace of Year 1 content, right down to the MMO's foundational campaign. The Year 1 Earth is so scorched that when pressed to prove its defense in court against author Matthew Kelsey Martineau, who claimed in a lawsuit that Bungie had stolen ideas from his blog post, the studio had to submit YouTube video evidence of old campaigns and storylines because it could not demonstrate that content in any other way. I desperately need to know how decade-old guns tied to content that was wiped from existence can possibly be bleeding into a tower-specific version for a new PvP mode. Seriously, I hope Bungie explains this in a nitty-gritty blog post, because this is one of the dooziest of doozies in history for Destiny 2. I think the saddest part about all this stuff and games like Destiny and developers doing this stuff is that when I have kids and I go and tell them about some of my favorite games that I used to play when I was their age, I will mention Destiny. And then, because Destiny is one of my favorite games, I just hate the direction that it's gone in, and I hate how much money I've had to waste to play it. But I quite literally will never be able to show my son the game. I won't be able to, because it doesn't exist anymore. It quite literally doesn't exist anymore. Even when they got sued and were accused of stealing ideas from someone, they had to pull up YouTube videos to prove that their content was original. My guess is they copy-pasted old code, and the old code still pulls from the original source location, and they didn't delete anything. They just changed what source location they were pulling from. I'm not sure. Honestly, that's a fun bug. I wouldn't even be that pissed about it. To get old drops to reminisce on, that's a feature, not a bug. I disagree, TJ, because with these events, some of those missions can last upwards of 20, 30 minutes. You go through one of those missions, 20, 30 minutes, and then you pop out, and it gives you gear that was supposed to be higher level and ends up being stuff from back from Year 1. I would be pissed. Put all that time into that, and then you give me some loot that I shouldn't even have that I can't use. I would be butthurt. I had to let my dog out of my room. He kept bugging me. Not just that, but you can't even use it. Yeah, you can't even. So that's the other thing too, is that it's supposed to be deleted. So it's not even that they're giving people these guns; they quite literally can't use them because it's not even supposed to be in the game anymore. So it's just bugging everything out. It's really weird. Let's see what else are you guys saying in the chat. Ghost of Christmas Past. No one from the game when it was made still works there. I know. That's it. They've removed all of the good people. Destiny's death knell right there. Play Warframe. Yeah, no, I recommend playing Warframe. I really do. Warframe has been has existed since Xbox 360 days, and they have never, ever removed content. Warframe has never removed content, and they still update it to this day. It's actually getting an update, I think this month or next month. A massive update too. I recommend playing Warframe. It's free to play. They won't force you to pay a bunch of money to play and stuff like that. So is it like they're getting a purely cosmetic weapon? Worse than that, Boosh. You can't even like overlay it on other weapons. Literally, it's just a useless item. Useless item you have to delete. The characters, or is it stuck in their inventory now locked? I would hope you can at least delete it. I have not played Warframe in a bit, but it is super good. Yes, Warframe is a very fun game. A little difficult to get into, but once you get past like the tutorial and stuff, super fun. I think they just put that big update out. No. Well, they did have a big update recently, but they're having another big update. Warframe's always updating stuff. That's what I mean. Warlock main loves stasis. Yes, Warlock is my main as well. Or at least it was when I still played. All right, let's get to the serious news now, guys. Let's see. Is it already time for another ad? All right, let's get the ad out of the way, guys. Let's get the ad out of the way. Do I have another one for NFL? Do another NFL ad. No? What's this one? Wait, I saw one. What's this? Pickaxe. What? Okay, well, I just want to read what this ad is. I'm just curious what this is now. Failed to accept campaign. Okay, so no, it is too soon. I thought. Lie to me. Why would you lie to me? Rumble Studios lying to me, guys. You think Bungie is sick of winning? Oh, absolutely. They're very sick of winning. You know what? I think society really is sick of winning. You guys want to see some winning? Here's some winning. I'm being sarcastic, by the way. This is absolutely actually a disgusting story. Woman shot and killed execution style on Philly Street. Arrest made. Police said the victim was rushed to Jefferson Hospital, where she was pronounced dead roughly 90 minutes later. I mean, this video is sickening. Broad daylight, this guy shot and killed this woman. A woman was fatally shot in Center City, Philadelphia on Friday evening, and police say one suspect is in custody. The shooting occurred just before 6 p.m. at 12th and Chestnut Street, outside a 7-Eleven along one of the city's busiest corridors. The incident was recorded on video and took place in full view of pedestrians and nearby businesses. Police said the victim was rushed to Jefferson Hospital, where she was pronounced dead roughly 90 minutes later. Her identity has not been made public. The suspect is now in custody. And then here's the video.
Video appears to show 3 people involved. It looks as if one woman is trying to get a man off of another woman. Moments later in that same video, it shows the man point a gun at the woman on the ground. Oh my God!
Benny Johnson said a woman was shot dead execution style in broad daylight in Philadelphia. Violent criminals are being allowed to roam the streets free from punishment. Americans should be able to walk down the street in peace. Cities have become third world hellscapes. Yeah, sorry guys. I know the like goal has been greatly exceeded. I appreciate it, guys. Let me I'll update that. But as far as this goes, that's why I titled the video the way I did today. I'm advocating for peaceful civil disobedience. I am advocating for peaceful civil disobedience. I think people need to start open carrying firearms in states where you're not allowed to. And if we get enough people to start doing that, these crimes stop. If people were armed and criminals knew people were armed, they wouldn't do this. Or at the very least, if they still found it within themselves to do it, they wouldn't be able to do it for very long. Eye for an eye. I saw a video from someone who was on the corner when it all this started. That's the first video I saw. Footage reviewed by investigators shows 3 people involved in the confrontation. One woman appeared to be attempting to pull a man away from the other woman before the situation escalated. The video then shows the man pointing a firearm at a woman lying on the ground and opening fire. Witnesses nearby can be heard shouting, including one who exclaimed, "Oh my God." Authorities have not confirmed the relationship between the individuals or what triggered the violence. According to law enforcement sources, investigators are reviewing whether one of the women have been armed and if the gun was taken from her during the struggle. So it's not clear whether or not the firearm the guy used was hers. So this could have been her gun. She was trying to defend herself and he got it from her. No, the city will just arrest everyone who is doing this and take their guns. Armed societies apply, society conceal carry. Well, if you want to conceal carry, that's fine, Wiggum, but I think people should conceal or open carry, and they should start doing it in defiance of the government. The government will not defend you. They are not defending us. They are waiting for us to get publicly executed so that they can report on it and then just let these guys walk free. And I'm sick of it. I'm at the point now where I will not leave my house unarmed, and if something like this happens in front of me, I will put an end to it, whatever that looks like. That I will make sure that these scumbags, like in these other stories that we have, if I'm ever in one of these situations, they will not have the opportunity to be released. You don't really see anything, so I'm gonna go ahead and play the video. You can hear the gunshots. They're fighting for the gun. Guy recording runs across the street. Goes back to recording. Cars are fleeing. Looks like they're fighting on the ground. He's punching her. So I think she actually might have the firearm at this point. And then he gets it. They're trying to get it from him. He shoots her in the back. Walks up. Finishes the job. Only reason I'm showing the video is because you can't actually see anything. It's mostly, it's grainy and blurred. You can't actually see what's going on. You just see shadow figures. And then he walks away. Okay, I'm gonna pause before we get too close to there. I don't want her on camera. Yeah. Kind of seems like he was attacking her and she pulled a gun and he took it and shot her. That's kind of what it looks like. And that's kind of what they're leaning towards in the article. But it has not been confirmed that that was the case. I'm interested in how this started. So Casey Boltinghouse, a resident who was leaving for a bike ride at the time, said he heard the shots and saw first responders arrive quickly. They hauled the girl off in the ambulance. That happened really quick. She was getting loaded up when I got her. Let's see. At least 2 shell casings recovered at the scene. Detectives also marked several pieces of evidence in the immediate area. Some witnesses told police they recognized the individual involved and believed they may have been homeless. Police have not yet announced charges. So if he was homeless, I am curious how he got the firearm. Maybe he did get it off of her. I'm just curious as to how the fight started. Because if it was her firearm, did she try to pull it on him? That leads me to ask more questions. But it's just disgusting. It's disgusting, and I mean, what do we do here, guys? What do we do? We have crime running rampant in our cities. It's not safe to go anywhere. Start the video over. There is a shot right at the beginning. Yeah, there is a shot right at the beginning. So I don't know what they mean, 2 shell casings. There was at least 3. Is that what you mean, Wiggum?
Video appears to show 3 people involved. It looks as if...
Oh, wait, that's the other video. This one. There is a shot at the start. There's 3 shots. Hey, wait. Hang on, you can kind of see here. Okay, so there's the girl holding the pink bag. There's the guy. He's now lunging towards her. He's reaching for something. Gun goes off. I think she has the gun. I can't tell. Does she have it?
Where's my money, bitch?
Hey, thank you guys. Guido, if he took the gun from her, the media will use that as an argument against owning firearms. Maybe. Dangling keys on a cop security guard, maybe. I'd want to know why she was pointing a gun at him or why they were fighting in the first place. Yeah, I don't know. Looking at this, he's clearly lunging for something in her right hand. She walks up. You can't. It's so grainy. You can't see. He immediately lunges for something. But does he have the gun in his hand? I don't see anything in his hand. But I can't see her right hand, so it leads me to believe that she had the gun. And then it sounds like it dropped. Goes off again. What do you... Wait, they found 2 shell casings. I've now heard 4 bullets. There's 2 at the start, 2 at the end. I don't know, man. We need more details. Need more details on this. Crazy, crazy stuff to see this happen in broad daylight, though. Harassed by a homeless man. Pulled her gun to protect herself. She shot a couple of times while they fought over the gun. He obtains it and fires 2 shots to execute her. That's my assumption. That's where I'm leaning. That's where I'm leaning, TJ. Yeah, there were more than 2 shots for sure. People need to clean their damn lenses. Yeah, seriously. What are you filming on here? A BlackBerry? Let's see. So they have not yet announced charges. So they're still investigating. They're trying to figure out what happened here. Yeah, I'll update it once we know more. If this guy gets charged or if he gets to walk free, I'll update it for you guys. I don't know. Looking at that video again, you know, first time I saw it, I thought I thought the dude just executed her. But looking at that again, she may have been the one that walked up on him with a gun. Magic bullet theory. Okay, Joey. But she might have been the one. She might have been the one that walked up on him. I don't know. I don't know how that started. I want to know who had the gun. Whose gun was it? We're going to move to this next story. This is the big one that everyone's talking about. And the legacy media is being slammed for avoiding the brutal murder of the Ukrainian woman by career criminal on the, NC train. Despite the shocking nature of the crime, the incident has seen no coverage on the websites of mainstream media such as the Associated Press, CNN, or the New York Times. Critics are calling out major news outlets for a lack of coverage of the fatal stabbing of a 23-year-old Ukrainian refugee in North Carolina by a career criminal with a lengthy history of violent offenses. The victim, Ernia Ira Zorutska, fled Ukraine during the ongoing war, but was brutally killed late at night while riding a rail in Charlotte. Surveillance footage released by transit officials, which has since gone viral, shows the suspect, 34-year-old DeCarlos Brown Jr., sitting behind Zarutska before suddenly stabbing her in the neck multiple times. He then walked away as blood dripped from the knife and in his hands. Brown, who had been charged with first-degree murder, has a criminal record stretching back years that includes violent crimes and mental health issues known to law enforcement. Many have questioned why he was free in the first place. Despite the shocking nature of the crime, the incident has seen little to no coverage on the websites of mainstream media outlets such as the Associated Press, CNN, or the New York Times. Charlotte Mayor Lyles suggested some outlets avoided showing the footage out of respect for the victim's family, but many of these organizations have not reported on the killing at all. So following the update from this is yesterday. As of today, some of these outlets have now reported on it, CNN being one of them. CNN did report on this now, only after being told that they should. But, yeah. Despite the shocking nature of the crime, it's seen little to no coverage. The video of the heartbreaking attack that took Ernia Zorutska's life is now public. The mayor said in a statement, "I want to thank our media partners and community members who have chosen not to repost or share the footage out of respect for Ernia's family." What? The footage of the... Wait. Okay, hang on. Go back. But many of these organizations have not reported on the killing at all. The video, quote, the video of the heartbreaking attack that took Ernia Zarutska's life is now public, the mayor said in a statement. The mayor also went on to say that I want to thank our media partners and community members who have chosen to not repost or share the footage out of respect for Ernia's family. What do you mean out of respect for her family, dude? You fucking kidding me? You want to talk about respect to this woman's family after this guy who's committed 14 violent crimes is still on the street and murdered her, slit her throat open without reason? But it's respectful not to share the footage because you want to be respectful to her family. Fuck you. Fuck you. This footage should be viral. The stuff like this is running rampant in our country, and people should be well aware of it. You want to talk about respect? The respectful thing to do is get this woman justice and sentence that man to a public execution. I'm done. I'm done with it, man. These people need to be publicly put to death. Bring back the guillotine. Social media users have condemned the lack of attention, with some drawing comparisons to the heavy coverage of cases like George Floyd or Jordan Neely, arguing the response differs depending on the races of those involved. We all know that. We all know that if the races are not favorable to the media, they won't cover it. Elon Musk also weighed in, responding to a post comparing the New York Times' extensive coverage of Daniel Penny, the man who restrained Neely on a New York subway, with its silence on Zarutska's killing. No one commits narrative crimes like the New York Times. They are the best. Let's see. We just got a Rumble rant. Thank you, R. Sergeant.
Where's my money, bitch?
ABC report this morning on my local news radio. Ukrainian woman killed on light rail in North Carolina. Police have suspect in custody and are investigating the cause. The end. What was the cause? The cause was this man was still on the street. That was the cause. You want to know the cause of attacking this woman? The only cause was that this man was still breathing the same air as you and I. That's the cause. Did they share the video here? No. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys the video. I'm in a fuck YouTube kind of mood. Who knows how much longer I'll be on YouTube anyway? Especially with all the stupid bullshit they want to do. I'm gonna show you guys because Rumble won't ever censor me. So let's see. Sent this to Joey, didn't I? That one. Where's the video? Daily Mail. No, come on, I want the video. 2-minute video? This looks like a longer video.
Keeping to themselves, scrolling on their phones.
Okay, yeah, this is actual this actual report. Let's see this one. Judge's immunity for my civil lawsuit needs to end. No, every fucking judge that let this guy go, life in prison. Every single fucking judge. Every single judge that he was seen in front of, life in prison. If not public execution next to him. The only way we correct this is with an overcorrection. We need to make these people know that they will be punished. It's not enough to just start punishing these people. We need an overcorrection.
It's 9:46 p.m. You'll notice right away, this looks like any other ride aboard the light rail. People are doing what they do these days, keeping to themselves, scrolling on their phones as they ride along. The man accused in the killing, DeCarlos Brown, is in the red hoodies on the right side of your screen.
Don't say accused. Don't say accused. This man's on video murdering this woman for no reason. Don't say accused.
He appears to be maybe a little emotional, perhaps a little agitated, but nothing disruptive. There's nothing that gets anyone's attention. About 30 seconds later, Irina Zarutska boards. She's wearing a hat and a t-shirt from a pizzeria, and she sits in the row in front of Brown. She has earbuds in and is looking at her phone. She too is just minding her own business.
I agree. Brought to you by Pfizer. There should be about a 5-minute trial, and the full 5 minutes should just be playing this uncut. And then at the end, you turn to the jury and say, is he guilty or not? And if he is, public execution within the next 30 minutes. I'm sick of it. I'm done. It's over.
They ride along for around 4 minutes with nothing unusual happening. Then around 9:50 p.m., Brown reaches into a pocket. We've zoomed in on it here. He pulls out a pocket knife.
It's slowed down a little bit here, and they zoomed in on it so you can't see his face. This man just nonchalantly, calmly, just opens the knife, knowing what he's about to do.
No one notices a thing. Seconds later, he would stand up, and from behind, unprovoked, as we stopped the video, he would stab the young woman several times. She had no chance to
They have these people's faces blurred, but I just saw that woman's face not blurred, so I just thought that was kind of funny.
defend herself. The attack was over in seconds, and when it was over, Brown walked through the train attempting to get off. Few passengers, if any, at first realized what had happened, until they noticed drops of blood on the floor. 90 seconds after the attack, a bystander rushes down to begin lending aid to Zarutska. She would die from her injuries. 30 seconds later, 9:52 p.m., 6 minutes into the video, Brown leaves the light rail.
The video here shows us just how quickly things happened and how
No. No. Well, that's amazing news, R. Sergeant. Thank you. Thank you for that, R. Sergeant. Guys, make sure to read R. Sergeant's comment right there. If you wanna get cheered up a little bit, make sure you read that comment there. But yeah, no. Public executions need to return. I'm pro-life for the innocent. If without a shadow of a doubt, you do things like this, no. Hanging, guillotine, wood chipper. I don't really care how we do it, Wiggum, as long as it's public and on video. Just think about it. We could do pay-per-view public executions. Stop taxing people. Just do public executions of criminals. Be like, hey, you guys want to see a criminal? You want to see a pedophile, disgusting pedophile get executed? I got to pay $20 to view it. I'd be fine with that. I'll pay the $20. Stop taxing me. I'll go pay $20 to watch you kill a pedophile. I'm fine with that. Hanging, and I think the family should be allowed to pull the lever. Absolutely. Yeah, that should always be an option. That should always be an option for these things. If someone without a shadow of a doubt commits these crimes, and then the family request that they get to choose the method, not only should they get to choose the method by which he dies, they should also get to do it. So, like, let's say I decide that some scumbag that hurt my sister or something, I want him feet first in a wood chipper, and I'll be the one to push him in. Only if it's feet first, exactly. No, public execution, man. I'm at that point now. Public execution for these people. People like this that are on video, senselessly murdering someone. Execute them. Capital punishment. There's no redeeming. There's no redemption. You don't redeem someone like this. They don't go on and then 5 or 10 years later they're a normal person. No. He's always going to be this way. He is burned this way. What do you do? What do you do? Evil like this exists in the world. What do you do when evil like this exists in the world? The only way to combat evil is you have to fight it head on. If we're just letting these people walk all over us, then evil wins. I'm sick of it. Got one more story for you guys in the same vein. Suspect arrested after Auburn University veterinary professor Emerita killed in park while walking her dog. This is yesterday. An Auburn University professor Emerita was killed in the city's Kiesel Park Saturday. Why didn't they capitalize her name? That's honestly a little disrespectful. Apparently, while walking her dog, Lee County Coroner Daniel Sexton on Sunday identified the victim as Dr. Julie Gard Schnuel. Okay, that's not her name. I'm retarded. She was 59. In a brief statement the same day, Auburn called Schnuel a beloved member of the local veterinary and university community. Sexton and Schmuel's injuries appeared to be consistent with the use of a sharp force instrument. Harold Rashad Dabney III, a 28-year-old from Montgomery, has been charged with 2 counts of capital murder in Schmuel's slaying. Schmuel was a professor emerita in the Department of Clinical Sciences at Auburn University's College of Veterinary Medicine. I thought that was her name because I've never seen that word. Just like that gridiron word I saw earlier. I've never seen emerita. According to her bio, she studied veterinary medicine at Auburn and biology at the University of Alabama in Birmingham. She received her PhD in biomedical sciences in Auburn. Her specialties included dairy production, bovine embryology, and canine reproduction. Auburn police were called to Kiesel Park about 2 p.m. Saturday after receiving a 911 call of a person who appeared to be dead. Officers found Schnuel in a wooden area of the park. Her dog was unharmed. Schnuel's red Ford F-150 was discovered missing from an area near the crime scene about 8:30 a.m. on Sunday. Auburn police responded to a call reporting a suspected person near the 2300 block of Beehive Road. I want to live on Beehive Road. That sounds kind of cool. The suspicious person, well, maybe not right now, but maybe after they clean up some of the crime in the area. The suspicious person was located by officers and identified as Dabney. Officers in contact with Dabney made observations that led to them to believe Dabney had involvement with the homicide that occurred the previous day. After the investigation, Dabney was confirmed to be the suspect responsible for the homicide, and he was charged with 2 counts of capital murder. Dabney was taken to the Lee County Jail where he is being held without bond. Schnull's Ford F-150 said, police said was stolen by Dabney after the killing was later recovered off Wire Road. Auburn University officials released a statement Sunday morning. She served as a faculty member in the Department of Clinical Sciences in the large animal food animal section from 2003 to 2021 when she retired as a professor emerita. Auburn sent our sincere condolences to the family and loved ones of Dr. Gard Schnull during the unimaginably difficult time. News of her death quickly spread among the Auburn veterinary community. Let's see what it goes on to say. So it's just comments talking about her. Suzanne and I are devastated by the news of this tragic loss in our community. We're praying for the victim's family and loved ones and justice to be served. Anyone with additional information is asked to call police at this number. Tips can also be submitted through their tip line. So if you guys happen to know any additional information, I guess there it is. Though probably not likely that you guys do, but still good to put that out there. But yeah, same thing. Same thing goes for this guy. What was this piece of shit doing? This piece of shit murdered someone who made it her life's mission to help animals. Murdered her to steal her truck. I'm sorry, man. These people are beyond redemption, and I do not want to pay for them to be living and breathing for the next 60 to 80 years of their life. End them. End them. Stop them from breathing. I don't want them here anymore. People like this, if you can prove that this is what he did,
Where's my money, bitch?
I just end them. They don't need to be here anymore. There's no reason for them to be. Let's see. I worry how far this will go. An uprising, one way or another, is coming. How and where it will start is yet to be determined, but the clear appeasement of evil ideology and evildoers will be the cause. Absolutely, man. Scaphism is the way these people should be dealt with. I'm not sure what that is, Joey. Guys, I'm learning all sorts of new words today. That make that number 3 of words I've never seen before. Scaphism. I don't know what that is. But yeah, I know it might be a little harsh, guys, but I'm done. I'm done with it. Senseless killings of American citizens, regardless of if done by a fellow American citizen or an illegal, put to death. Put to death. I'm done. I'm done with it. There needs to be an overcorrection. There needs to be an overcorrection. These people need to know that if they do something like this, they will not be breathing for very long. That's how you fix this. The only way to fix this is you arm every single person that should be armed, and then when someone goes off their hinges and commits a crime like this without reason, they do so knowing they will die. That's how you fix this. It's the only way to fix this. Joey sent me something on Discord. Let's move over to Discord. We're gonna move on, guys. I think I've ranted long enough. Yeah, I love the idea of scaphism. All right, let's see what is scaphism. Ooh, okay, that's an ancient torture. Weeks of torture thanks to a little. Yes, the milk and honey torture. Yes, I know of that one. Like I was saying earlier, if I was ever given a choice of how to execute someone, there would be a lot of different ways I could think of. This is a good one. This is a good one for sure. I think it would depend on the crime they commit. It would definitely depend on the crime they commit. Yeah, the punishment should fit the crime, for sure. But either way, the punishment should be death. I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of it. We just keep letting these people back onto the streets, and I think we just kill them in a. I'm almost. What? That's crazy, killing it. Like they're rats, they are. Yeah. No, so Joey agrees with me. Yeah, I felt like I might be going too far in the episode today, but I'm pissed, man. I'm genuinely pissed. Our government doesn't care about us, and they never did. And I'm just waiting for the day that people finally realize it and they wake the fuck up. They're stealing from us. They're letting an invasion happen in this country. They will put you in prison for your life if you try to defend yourself or your family. At what point do we as a nation stand up and say, fuck you, and remove them from power. When does it happen? I want to know. Move on. So I thought this story was hilarious because Trump's a fucking idiot. Trump is an idiot. Let's be real here. Appeals court upholds $83 million judgment against Trump for defaming E. Jean Carroll. Yeah, they should have. I'm actually in favor of this, and I'll tell you why. The E. Jean Carroll case, absolute bullshit. Let me preface it with that. But Donald Trump argued in this case when trying to appeal that he shouldn't have to pay the $83 million because of presidential immunity. Trump, this crime happened when you weren't president. Presidential immunity wouldn't apply. Also, presidential immunity only applies to official acts. So either you're saying that you doing this to E. Jean Carroll was an official act, or I see, I don't even know what you're trying to claim here. Anyway, so yeah, Trump last year was found to have defamed the former magazine columnist in 2019. The federal appeals court in New York on Monday upheld the $83.3 million judgment imposed on President Trump for defaming former magazine columnist E. Jean Carroll in 2019. Trump failed to identify any grounds that would warrant reconsidering our prior holding on presidential immunity. We also conclude that the district court did not err in any of the challenged rulings and that the jury's damages awarded are fair and reasonable. Again, I think that the whole E. Jean Carroll stuff is quite literally trumped up, but the way that Trump should have gone about that, like, you know, look, I'm not a lawyer, but trying to claim that you don't have to pay it because of presidential immunity, that's just ridiculous, dude. Trump last year was ordered to pay $83.3 million in damages to Carroll, a former Elle magazine columnist, for defaming her in 2019 when he denied sexually abusing her in the dressing room of a Manhattan department store in the 1990s. See, that's the thing, too, is Trump made a bunch of claims, and I do agree with Trump in this regard, but a court ruled that he did rape her. So, if a court ruled that he did that, any comments to the contrary would be defaming her, even if it's not true. Like, because of the court ruling. So, you basically need to go overturn the court ruling, because then you're not defaming her. What he should have been doing is targeting the rape case, not the defamation case, because you can't defame someone if it didn't happen, right? But if it did happen and the court agrees that it happened, then you are defaming. Anyway, and there's no presidential immunity to that. The Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals on Monday rejected Trump's argument that he was entitled to presidential immunity when he made the statements about Carroll. The appellate court also rejected Trump's argument the jury's damages were excessive. The three-judge panel decided Trump acted with, at minimum, reckless disregard for the truth when he called Carroll a liar and said she's not his type. The panel said the $18.3 million the jury awarded Carroll in compensatory damages was fair. After Trump released his statements, which were reviewed by between 85.8 to 104 million people, Carroll was instantly and continuously attacked on Twitter and Facebook and in emails. She received thousands of attacks, including hundreds of thousands of death threats. The panel also rejected Trump's argument that punitive damage award of $65 million was grossly excessive. I do think that that's excessive. That even if, let's say Trump is guilty of all of this, $65 million? That's crazy. There was ample evidence that Trump was recklessly indifferent to Carroll's health and safety, the opinion said. Moreover, Trump's attack against Carroll were not isolated. Rather, they continued throughout his presidency of the nearly 5-year litigation and became more extreme and frequent as the trial approached. I would be incredibly pissed and constantly attacking someone if they falsely accused me, for the record. For the record, if someone ever falsely accuses me, I will probably every single day of my life be screaming obscenities at them. Carroll's attorney, Roberta Kaplan, said in a statement following the ruling that the appeal court affirmed that E. Jean Carroll was telling the truth and that President Donald Trump was not. The court also upheld the $83.3 million award of damages because, among other things, she was subjected to a multitude of death threats and other threats of physical injury. We look forward to an end of the appellate process, so the justice will finally be done. 2023, a jury in a separate trial found Trump liable for the attack and awarded Carroll $5 million in damages for battery and for defaming her in a 2022 social media post by calling them a hoax and a lie. The same court of appeals rejected his appeal and of that statement. So I'll say it here. It is my full opinion that E. Jean Carroll, the whole situation is a hoax and is a lie. But that's my opinion. I don't have anything to factually back that up. Denying any crime shouldn't be seen as defamation. I don't agree, TJ. I don't agree with that. Because if a crime is committed and then you go to court and they prove, even though they didn't really prove it, if they prove in court that you did it and then you get outside of court and you continuously say that, like, this is a very specific case. Wealthy person is accused of raping someone. Court finds that wealthy person did rape that person. Wealthy person goes on to defame that person by saying it never happened, she's a liar, and so on. Actually, you can still defame a non-famous person. It's called defamation, not you're not defaming. You're it's different. It's defamation. Defamation, like defamation of character. You can defame someone who's not famous. It's just English is fun. English is fun. But no, you can absolutely defame someone. That you can defame someone who doesn't even have social media. You can defame people. You're just making false statements of fact. That's like me saying without a shadow of a doubt, E. Jean Carroll is a liar and always has been a liar, and the whole thing was a lie from the start. I can't say that as a fact. That's just my opinion. But if I go around saying that it's a fact, that's defaming someone. Because you have to be able to prove that. You can't just make up shit. Even if it's, even if it is true, you can't just make it up. You have to have evidence. And that's why we have these laws. You can't just go around making claims without evidence. Unless you just say it's your opinion. That's the loophole. Sorry, but when a court changes the laws in order to go after a specific person, they should have any and all rulings related to that person removed from the record, and anyone involved should be removed from the judicial system. I completely agree, Wiggum. I think the whole thing with E. Jean Carroll was BS. But I think it's even more BS the way that Donald Trump tried to go about this. I mean, do you guys genuinely think that this was a smart move to say that he has presidential immunity in the defamation case? So if a court says you're guilty of something, you can't say that the court got it wrong. You can say that the court got it wrong as your opinion, but you can't say it as a fact, TJ. You can have the opinion, you can say it as your opinion, but you can't claim it's a fact. Let's see. Because you can hold the opinion that it's not. But anyway, what I was saying, does any of you think that this was a good way to go about this? Claiming presidential immunity? Because that was the whole point of me bringing this up, is that I think it was a terrible way for him to go about this. It's just idiotic, moronic. Why claim presidential immunity on something that wasn't a presidential act? I don't know. That's my thought. Lol, no. Yeah, exactly. Lol, no. I mean, that was not a smart way to go about that. It just wasn't. If you are the one charged, you can speak factually, get the fuck out with that. Yeah, but if a court finds that you are guilty, you can't, as a matter of fact, claim that they were wrong because they proved in court that you weren't, that you were. So you can say as your opinion that you think they got it wrong, but that's why I said it was leading to the defamation suit, because they knew how he would react. Yeah, absolutely. Because once the court makes the determination, then it becomes fact whether you like it or not. Exactly, Boosh. The government has made it fact. So whether it was real or not, it is now. All right. See. Oh my goodness. Blew through the show today. Absolutely blew through the show. All right, this will be the last thing I talk about. Let's see. We'll save this for tomorrow. Save that for tomorrow. Well, actually, Joey might talk about this story. We got a crazy update on those Fauci Beagle puppies. If Joey doesn't talk about it, I'll be sure to talk about it tomorrow. We'll talk about this real quick, because it's in my thumbnail. Guys, Google will not be forced to sell Chrome. Federal judge rules. Judge says tech giant can keep world's most popular browser in ongoing battle over firm being ruled a monopoly. Google will not be forced to sell its Chrome browser. A federal judge ruled on Tuesday in the tech giant's ongoing legal battle over it being ruled a monopoly last year. The company will be barred from certain exclusive deals with the device makers and must share data from its search engine with competitors, the judge ruled. Judge Amit Mehta's ruling follows months of speculation surrounding what penalties Google would face as a result of his decision last year that the company violated antitrust laws as it built what he called an online search monopoly. The ruling, one of the most significant antitrust cases in decades, resulted in an additional hearing in April to determine what actions the government should take as a remedy. So we'll give updates as this goes along. But a lot of people still use Chrome because that's what Google is. When you Google something, you're using Chrome. Shocking. Judges are corrupt. Should I start early? No, you don't have to start early, Joey. I have plenty of stories to get through. If anything, you should start late. I'm trying to figure out what I want to talk about. Don't do that either. Let's see. Let's move to this. This will be the last story I covered today. I say last story, but there's actually like multiple things to go with that. But let's see. Yeah, because that'll be a lot to talk about. Yeah, that'll be a lot to talk about. I'll save that for the show tomorrow because I'm gonna go on a rant. We use it at work and it sucks. If it's a monopoly, break it up. If not, stop the fascism. Tell Google what they must give to competitors. That's bogus. Yeah. No, absolutely. They need to... I think Google's a monopoly. I mean, I don't think they should be the world's largest search engine and have YouTube. It's pretty ridiculous. And then they subsidize YouTube. The only reason YouTube exists is because Google subsidizes them. It is a monopoly, but judges will never rule that way because they have too much influence. So how do we handle that? Well, actually, Joey, it was ruled that they are a monopoly, and they're just trying to decide what parts to cut out of it. So they've decided that Google can keep Chrome, essentially. So they have ruled that it's a monopoly, but they're now ruling whether or not, like, what they should keep. A big part of my job is researching things, and Google search and Chrome is awful. I use Bing and Brave searches. They work much better. Not only do they have YouTube, they have the ad services that they can decide to not give to their competitors. Probably going to do bare minimum. What, you're doing bare minimum today, Joey? Is that what you mean? You're doing bare minimum? Okay, let's jump to the... Oh, wait. Let's do the last ad. Hey, does anyone remember Internet Explorer? Exactly. That is why their searches suck. Yes. Let's see. What kind of ads do we got for you guys today? Let's do the Rumble Premium ad. What do you guys say? Rumble Premium. Let's get the Rumble Premium ad going. No, they're gonna split up Google in the most bare minimum way. Okay. I was gonna say, what do you mean Monday? It's Monday. You can do a bare minimum show. I need you to talk about the Dr. Fauci update. Dr. Fauci and Beagle update. You've probably... Oh, sorry. I'm doing an ad right now, guys. So that is irrelevant to the ad. Ignore what I just said. Guys, go check out Rumble. Go check out Rumble Premium. You guys are probably already watching me here on Rumble. If you're watching me on YouTube, scan the QR code. Scan the QR code and come over to Rumble and get Rumble Premium today. You've probably noticed Rumble is growing fast and it's not slowing down. They're building a real alternative to big tech that puts creators first and actually protects free speech. And now there's Rumble Premium, an easy way to upgrade your experience with Premium. You get ad-free viewing across the platform, no pre-rolls, no interruptions, just the content you came for. Plus, Premium members unlock exclusive content like bonus videos, behind-the-scenes drops, and more from your favorite creators. Right now, Rumble's offering $10 off the annual subscriptions. Just go to rumble.com/premium and use promo code STUDIO at checkout. That's rumble.com/premium, promo code STUDIO. No ads, more freedom, and content you actually care about. That's the deal. All right, there you go, guys. We got our Rumble ad out there today. Guys, we have 50 people watching the show today. Over 50 people watching the show today. Guys, can I get 5 more likes before the stream ends? Can we get 5 more likes before the stream ends? Huh? What do you guys say? We're almost there. Look, 25? Can we do 25 likes? We're at 20. Just saying. Just throwing it out there. Anyway, if anything lands, Fauci in jail, and if there's one thing people won't tolerate, it's puppy or kitten abuse. Yeah, if you guys don't know about the Beagle puppies that they were torturing, there's actually an update to that story that I have for you guys, but I'm not going to cover that right now. Hopefully Joey goes over it because I did send it to him, but I will cover that tomorrow for you guys because that is something I'm going to go off on. But let's talk about this real quick. Donald Trump was an FBI informant on Jeffrey Epstein. Republican Mike Johnson claims. What happened here? What's going on with this? Mike Johnson told CNN that Trump thought what Epstein did was a terrible, unspeakable evil, and that the U.S. president had been misrepresented throughout the controversy over the files during his second term. Mr. Johnson's comments come after months of speculation regarding a client list that Attorney General Pam Bondi said in February was sitting on her desk. The Wall Street Journal later reported that Miss Bondi had informed Mr. Trump that his name had appeared several times on the list, which is understood to have included names of influential figures associated with the sex offender. Goes on to say that Trump had initially been friends with Epstein in the 1990s and early 2000s and had been pictured with the disgraced financier, but severed tied with him after an argument at his Mar-a-Lago club in Florida. Quote, this is from Speaker Mike Johnson. What Trump is referring to is the hoax that the Democrats are using to try and attack him. I've talked to him about this many times. He is horrified. It's been misrepresented. He's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil he believes that himself. Mr. Johnson went on to add that when he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try and take this stuff down. So, a lot of people are taking that now out of context to question why Donald Trump may have been an informant. I don't think there's anything nefarious here. But we have this next article. So that was on Saturday. Now this is today. After outing Trump as an FBI informant on the Epstein case, House Speaker Mike Johnson tries to explain himself. Speaker Mike Johnson has walked back his head-scratching statement that Donald Trump was an FBI informant against Jeffrey Epstein after the Louisiana Republican was pressed on the president's claim that the case against the sex offender is a Democrat hoax. Last week, after members of Congress heard testimony from Epstein's accusers, Johnson told reporters that the president's repeated claims have been misrepresented. He's not saying what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. Okay, yeah. Go on. Let's close that. The speaker is reiterating what the victim's attorney said, which is that Donald Trump, who kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago, was the only one more than a decade ago willing to help prosecutors expose Epstein for being a disgusting child predator, a spokesperson told The Independent. Epstein's death in jail. Let's see. I want to get to Mike Johnson's comments. Where are those at? I don't see Mike Johnson's comments. From what I understand, thousands of pages have been given. Okay, yeah, we've already read that. So is that the update? That's all he said on it? The speaker is reiterating what the victim's attorney said. Okay, yeah, Johnson's office sought to clarify the remarks. So this is the statement. So Johnson didn't come out and say it himself. This is a statement from his office. A little misleading there, Independent. The speaker is reiterating what the victim's attorney said, which is that Donald Trump, who kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago, was the only one more than a decade ago willing to help prosecutors expose Epstein for being a disgusting child predator. So what I'll say to this, like this stream, guys, he is doing great work. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Wiggum. Thank you, guys. But so what I'll say to this, as someone who's been very critical of Donald Trump, if this is true, that Donald Trump is some sort of informant, if he was giving information to the FBI or law enforcement to help capture Epstein, this would actually be a point in his favor. Because if you think about it, Trump can't come out and give us details of this case if he's an informant, because he would be legally liable for that information getting out. He's the president. He can't declassify things just arbitrarily. He can't, especially things that are at a state level. He cannot declassify things at a state level. So Trump, when commenting on these things, like I've been saying, he calls a lot of this stuff a hoax. I think he's talking about his involvement being a hoax. If it was an informant, it would explain a lot of his weird remarks. He's trying to be careful about what he's saying. And we all know, but we all know Donald Trump is not careful with what he says. So him trying to be careful comes off as sloppy. So if anything, it's a point in his favor, but who knows? Because we also have this story. DOJ deputy chief says the government will redact every Republican while leaving all Democrat people on the Epstein list. Now, this is a video obtained from James O'Keefe. Guys, go check out James O'Keefe. We have more information from James O'Keefe today as well. I'll be going over that as well later. I've run out of time for the show today. We're gonna start wrapping things up. But yeah, guys, we'll cover this and more tomorrow. Lots to cover. Epstein, or lots to cover on the Epstein stuff. This guy, he's tried to clarify his statements, saying that he's just repeating things that he has heard in the media. But this is Deputy Chief, DOJ Deputy Chief. I mean, I don't know what to say, man. Yo, what's up, Neurodivergent One? Make sure you hit that follow and smash that thumbs up, peeps. I appreciate you, Neurodivergent One. Always stopping through. Always nice to see you in the chat. But yeah, we'll cover this and more. A lot of stuff to cover with RFK Jr., Dr. Fauci. Lots of stuff to cover. We'll do all of that and more tomorrow. Joey, Chris, everyone will be covering more stuff throughout the day, and I'll have more for you guys. Last thing I'll leave you guys with, now that I have all of you here, we've got over 50 people here. I want to remind all of you, for those that were not here in the morning, this is the last week that Tyler Today Live will be live at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 Eastern. I will not be live next week or the following weeks at that time anymore. Going forward, starting next week, you can find me at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard or 11 a.m. Eastern. Those are the times that I will be streaming from now on. And the reason being is I want more time for myself throughout the day. I want more time to spend with friends and family. And the only way that I can accomplish that is by doing my show in the morning. So that way I have time to set up clips and then have time to go and get stuff done throughout the day. So I will continue to do this show the way that I do it. I will not have a cap on that show. So when I start at 8 a.m., I will go until I don't have any more news. So either I end at 9 a.m., or I end at 11 a.m. Pacific. Whatever happens first. Either I run out of news, or or basically I'm gonna go until I run out of news. That'll be the new setup. But you know, for some of you, it might be a little too early. I understand that, but you can always catch the VOD after the fact whenever you wake up. But I'm gonna start doing that. Nice and early, bright early in the morning. Eastern time is the only real time. Yes, so I've heard, Neurodivergent One. But yeah, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard or 11 a.m. Eastern starting next week, guys. Starting next week. So I'm going to be reminding you guys all week that I'm doing that. And yeah, I think it'll be great. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how that goes. And, oh, I meant to say 11 a.m. Eastern. Oops, 11 a.m. Eastern. But, yeah, thank you guys for tuning in today. I had a lot of fun on the show today. And, yeah, you guys should go check out Joey Cannoli. He should be going live right about now. So I'm going to send all you guys over there. And, again, guys, last week. This is the last week that you will find me at 1 p.m. You will, I did say Eastern. Easter, whatever, Joey. It's a good time for raids, though, so he'll probably get more. Yeah, so that's another reason. The time slot that I'm in right now is kind of a rough spot. A lot of people are... there's multiple reasons for the switch. If you guys feel free to ask me questions about it. Again, join me on Discord. In that pinned message on Rumble, that is a link to my Discord. You can join for free. I'm not going to do any VIP stuff. You can join the Discord. You can call into my show, and all that good stuff. But yeah, what Neurodivergent is saying is true. It's absolutely true. So it'll just be better overall. People waking up in the morning can turn the show on. Other streamers are live at that time. I'll get more raids. And the time that I go live right now is kind of a weird spot. A lot of people are in between shows, getting ready for work, getting ready for lunch. I have gotten quite a few of you to watch today and on past streams, but I do want to see. I want to see how the new time goes. There's multiple reasons for it. We'll see how that goes. If it doesn't work out, we'll try another time. If you guys have any recommendations for when I should start, let me know. But 8 a.m. sounded good. 8 a.m. sounded good. Anywho, I'm going to send you guys over to Joey Cannoli, and I'm going to leave you guys with my new song that I made. You guys can check it out on YouTube or on Rumble. I have a whole playlist for all of my songs on YouTube. You can check those out. But I'm going to leave you guys with my new song. Many of you have seen my AI songs before. This AI song is special because I actually wrote every word. I wrote every word of the song. They came from up here. I didn't use an AI to write the lyrics. I only used AI to sing it for me. Sing it and play the instruments. I wrote the lyrics. So enjoy. You guys have a great, wonderful rest of your day. And thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Later, guys.
Work harder, get stronger. They want you without power. Pull yourself up while you drown. Life was never fair, but they made sure to be there. You want to pursue happiness, they want you trapped behind the glass while trying to do right by your family. They plot the destruction of you and me. Stronger, they want you without power. Pull yourself up while you drown. Life was never fair, but they made sure to be there. The power has corrupted all, like the one true ring hippie fella saw. Where's the line? Nothing here is fine. I can hardly make a dime. Get away with crime. Work harder while you try your hardest, get stronger. While they cripple you, pull yourself up while they hold you down. Life was never fair, but they made sure to be there to show how much they don't care. Where's the line? Nothing here is fine. I can hardly make a dime while people get away with crime. Work harder while you try your hardest, get stronger while they cripple you. Pull yourself up while they hold you down. Life was never fair, but they made sure to be there to show how much they don't care. Kick you while you're